council meeting of the new year.
We're not there just yet.
Okay.
Right, now you can. We're ready.
Good evening, everyone, and can I welcome you to the first full council meeting of the new year. The year is certainly proving eventful with the rollout of the vaccine and today's announcement from DCC that work on demolishing part of Festival Walk has started today. Excellent news for the town. I would like to advise you this meeting is being live streamed on YouTube. As we are currently in lockdown, I'm taking this meeting from home and hope that all connections will run smoothly. Can I ask that members observe some ground rules? If you wish to speak, speak through the chair using the chat function and type in RTS to speak with your name against the item number. If you leave the meeting, please advise me through the RTS function so officers will also pick that up. Thank you very much. Can I also ask that you switch off all mobile devices or put them on silent during the meeting? And if I can now move on to the agenda and ask for apologies.
Councillor McAloon, Councillor Grayson, Councillor Gardner and Councillor Mrs Smith.
Thank you. Declarations of interest.
I've received a declaration of interest from Councillor Richards in relation to the Easter treat item, as her child attends one of the schools, so will benefit from an Easter treat.
And public questions.
Well, members' dispensations, none given. Public questions, none for this evening.
Thank you. Planning.
There's one item on planning, which is the erection of 4 terraced dwellings on Barnfield Road.
Thank you. If I can just advise members, this has been a long-term dilapidated building that's been boarded up with the property close to Cheapside and in the past has been subject to antisocial behaviour. The owners have been working with the council officials to resolve this particular site, and I do think it will be welcome news for the town. And I have a request to speak from Councillor Machin. I can't hear you.
I'd just like to echo your comments. We seem to have gone full circle, and we're back to the original plan proposal that was put forward for 4 terraced houses. I think it's long overdue, and it's well worth keeping an eye on this to make sure it comes to fruition.
Thank you. Councillor Neil Foster.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would tend to agree it's an area which has been overlooked for a long time. I'm delighted to see something's happening. My only concern, if I had a concern at all, was there is a problem at the junction with Barnfield Road and King Street Cheapside of people not obeying the traffic regulations. And I'm just concerned that the people who are going to be moving into these properties are made aware of what the traffic regulations are. It's not an excuse to defeat the protections that are there.
Thank you. Is this a comment that you would like to be passed over to the Planning Committee, Councillor Foster?
Well, ideally, if my local county members were attending this meeting, I would hope that they would take it on board.
Thank you. The minutes of the ordinary meeting of the Town Council, Tuesday, 22nd of December. Can I have a mover for this item, please?
Yes. Mayor, fellow councillors and members of the public, I wish to move the minutes of the ordinary meeting of the Town Council held on Tuesday, December the 22nd, and they be approved as a true and accurate record of the meeting.
And a seconder.
Madam Mayor, I'm delighted to second these minutes.
Thank you. Committee minutes to receive and approve as a correct record the minutes of the meeting of the standing committees of the council, Policy and Resources Committee.
Madam Mayor,
Can I
fellow
have a mover,
councillors, I move that
please?
the minutes of the Policy and Resources Committee held on the 5th of January be held as a true.
And a seconder, please.
Madam Mayor, I'm delighted to second these minutes.
Thank you. Facilities and Recreation Committee of the 12th of January.
Mayor, fellow councillors and members of the public, I wish to move the minutes of the Facilities and Recreation meeting held on Tuesday, January the 12th, and they be approved as a true and accurate record of the meeting.
And a seconder, please.
Mayor, fellow members, I would like to second the minutes of that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8, Mayor's Communications. Members have before you the communications from myself. Obviously, due to lockdown, there are restrictions. Can I move receipt of these communications?
Move receipt.
Performance Management, item 9. And members have before them the schedule of decisions taken at meetings in December 2020. Can I just make a comment with regard to on the performance management report? Under one of the items, it's marked up as cow plantation, dated 23rd of February 2018. This hasn't appeared on any previous reports, and I would like to have a report come back to council on this particular item, as it's such a long time ago and not previously been on our performance management report. Can I bring that?
Sorry, for information, Chair, we are going to have cow plantation committee next week, so I'll raise it there.
Thank you. And I have Councillor Machin.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'd just like to echo your comments about the cow plantation and also on the first page of the performance management, the registration of the town of Village Green. The Chair deferred this to a later meeting. Can I ask when you're going to bring this forward?
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm doing some research on it at the moment, and when I've completed my research, I'll bring it forward.
Thank you. Councillor Thompson.
Yes, Chair, thank you. I'd like to note a couple of things. On the second page of item 9, the Middlesbrough Community Centre CCTV cameras. It's a while ago now that we actually, Councillor Myers and myself, put forward money to try and have these CCTV cameras fixed. Now, we know we don't have a management committee, and that's been going on for quite a while now. And the community centre and its functions are being run by the town hall staff. I would like to ask if the facilities manager could look at getting a cost for these CCTV cameras, so we could probably get a neighbourhood budget funding application in as quick as possible. We still have some funding available, so I would like to see the town council take that over. Secondly, I noticed that the very recent decision that we took about getting a second consultation organised for the rat infestation that we've been having has been put back. I don't know how that's, being put back because of COVID. That's not being brought back to council that we would put it back. And I would like to say that I think we should at least be going out, trying to get some prices, some costs to see where we are, then make a decision whether we put it back or not.
We have got a price and we have got somebody lined up to do it, but with the current COVID restrictions, we can't be asking all of those allotment holders to turn up on the same day to meet with the person from the company and Danny because of the current restrictions. We don't want anyone getting fined, so that's the reason it's been held back. As soon as we can get people onto the allotments without them breaking the law, then we'll do it.
Is it worthwhile, Town Clerk, putting an update on the next F&R meeting? I think you've still got the opportunity to do that.
Yes, we can do that, not a problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the town clerk will put an update on Councillor Thompson.
Could I have a response back soon about the CCTV cameras? It need not necessarily be now, but it's been quite a while now that we've been waiting for a management committee, and it doesn't look it's going to happen. And it would be a good time to try and sort this out while everything's very quiet and the community centre's not being used. So I'm proposing that the facilities manager gets us some costings for that, please.
Yes, that's not a problem.
Yeah, through you, Chair. Yes, I can arrange that. Is there any particular members that you'd like me to liaise with? Because obviously these will be cameras that are not being monitored, and just be just a camera to identify if anybody's in the area, so we can like have it recorded and then play it back at some later stage.
Well, through you, Chair, I would think that the members who maybe want to have a look at that are the 4 members for Middleston Moor. Obviously, I'm a county councillor for Middleston Moor, but do not have any. I'm quite happy to supply some neighbourhood funding for it to happen. But if the local town councils want some input, that's fine by me. I just feel as though it's dragging on, nothing's happening, and now would be an opportune time to have that resolved.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to monitor that with the town council. I'm only too pleased to do that. I've tried very, very long, very hard to get a management committee up there, but at the moment it's just not working.
Yeah, I'll get some prices, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So a report will come back on that one as well after there's been some discussion with members and the relevant county councillors. Thank you. I have Councillor Machin would like to speak again.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, I had 3 items last time, so I didn't get the last one in. I'd just like to understand the item on data breaches and the action to appoint NERIO to undertake an external investigation. Can we hear what the status of that is, please?
Yes, I'd like the town clerk to come in there on that one. I think this is something that will come back to council in due course. Thank you.
Through you, Chair, yes, I can confirm it will come back to council. I've met with the appointed specialist, who's a data protection and IT specialist, and the investigation has actually started. He has been given permission to work with Evolve, and Evolve have been advised to work with him to search the computer systems, etc. And he's hoping that he can complete investigation by mid-February.
Thank you. Councillor Foster.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to remind members, as this wasn't originally on the agenda, that I am the Secretary of the Turtle Community Association. Councillor Thompson made a good point with regard to CCTV, and I've got no difficulty at all with the Town Council exploring CCTV. But those community centres who have invested their own money in putting in CCTV and pay an annual fee to ensure that the CCTV is available for the protection. It also has to pay for the required broadband to ensure that the CCTV system can work. I do hope that when the council is contributing towards the running costs for this, they will look at the conditions for all of the community centres, so we're all treated equitably. And can I take this opportunity to thank Colin, Danny and the team for the help and support they've been giving us over this last year. It has been a difficult year for community centres, and I appreciate the difficulty in forming a committee. Obviously people are engaged in many other things, but getting people's minds focused on these things are challenging. But from a community centre point of view, it is good when you can sort of pull the community together. So I'm happy to support, but I just want equity for all of the council community centres.
Thank you, Councillor Foster. I have Councillor Thompson to speak, and then I'm drawing this item to a close. Thank you.
Just to say, Chair, that I would be quite happy to support Councillor Foster on that, because it is times like this that shows you how important our community centres are, and I think we all should be looking to the cameras, and if the town council needs the support, then it certainly would have my support.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. And we'll move on now to item 10, decision notice, Councillor Geldard, which is just for note and information. And item 11, decision notice, Councillor Hiley. Again, this is for members' information to note. Thank you. Item 12, Easter treats for all schools, nurseries and care homes. If I can bring the town clerk in for her report, please.
Yes, through you, Chair, thank you. Members will note that it's practically the same project as the selection box project, only we'll be doing Easter treats instead of selection boxes. You will remember that we had those lovely letters from the school children at Middleston Moor, and it seems to have gone down really well for a relatively small amount of money to pick children up when, we're hearing all these things about mental health issues, etc. with children. So there is an underspend in the community grants budget, as I've outlined, in particular the one where we automatically make grants to long-standing events. So there are monies available that won't impact anything else. So we're just asking that members support this proposal.
Thank you, Town Clerk. And can I just say that I would hope that the list will be as previously, which will include also the private nurseries with regard to this, and that I think it is a good scheme. There is a lot of issues with mental health, and I think certainly from the selection boxes, it certainly generated a lot of goodwill. So I think that it is a worthwhile cause. The report does say that the money is available from the community grants budget. I also made a suggestion that the mayor's budget could also be used, as there's not been any events to date, as an alternate suggestion. However, if members agree, then the community grants budget would be a worthwhile item. Can I ask also, though, that the town clerk, if she could advise us when a report will come through for the under and overspends this year on the budget, and when this could come back to council so that we can determine future funding initiatives as well. Thank you.
Through you, Chair, a report comes to P&R. There is a report coming to the next P&R which will identify the underspends and overspends.
That's good. And can I bring Councillor Pete Malloy in, please?
Councillor Foster was first.
Can you repeat that, Town Clerk?
Councillor Foster's requested to speak first on this item.
Thank you. Councillor Foster?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thanks to the clerk for identifying that. I'm happy to support this project. I attended a school governors meeting this week, and you're right in terms of the, giving the school children a bit of a pep. And I know that the Christmas project did, and I'm delighted that this one is going to be. But of course, this does place us with a very difficult problem that we are going to have to work on as to who is going to dress up as the Easter Bunny to ensure that there's deliveries are made.
Well,
Thank
one
you.
of the staff did an elf last time, so I'm sure we can get one of them to dress up as a bunny.
All right, I've got Councillor Pete Malloy and then Councillor Clive Madison would like to speak. We obviously having to share the one iPad, so he hasn't put his request to speak on. So I'll bring Councillor Pete Malloy in first. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, it's a good initiative, this, and I do support it. I think I'd like to support Madam Mayor's proposal to use money out of a mayoral budget, if there's enough to cover it, for the simple fact that just in case something happens in the community, that we don't touch that community grant fund, just in case there's other organisations out there that may require some financial help. Thank you.
Can I just come in there, Chair?
Yes.
There are criteria attached to the mayor's budget, and this doesn't fit within that criteria. It fits better within the community grants budget because it's the part of the budget that people don't apply to.
Yeah.
Right. Are you happy with that, Councillor Pete Malloy?
Yes, Chair. It was just, I'll say, I didn't realise that it wouldn't qualify for it, but you know, I'm more than happy.
Yes, thank you. I think the mayor's budget will be identified at the next meeting when the report comes through. So again, it'll be a case of looking at other funding initiatives. I'll bring Councillor Clive Madison in now to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm 100% behind these Easter eggs because I do think the children do need a bit of a lift. One of the worries I have is Good Friday is the 2nd of April. Up till now, none of us know what is happening with an election. PERDA starts on the 25th of March, and there'll be a lot of people who will be standing who are not on this council may think that we are trying to gain something on them. So I do think the town clerk should be looking at getting everything delivered, all these Easter eggs delivered before the 25th of March, which is a week before. Then it puts all the councillors in the clear. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Madison. I would say that this has been discussed with the town clerk and she has got arrangements in place because of the potential PERDA with this particular distribution. Is there anything more you would like to add on that, Town Clerk?
No, just to confirm that every organisation that received a selection box, so the private nurseries, will be part of this again. And you are correct in that myself and the chair have already had a discussion about PERDA, and I've assured her that all the steps we take will be done prior to any possible PERDA kicking in.
Thank you. I have nobody else indicating a wish to speak. I'll draw this to a close now, and I'll thank you for your participation this evening.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
What's
everybody.
the-
all.
now?
Night.
Good night.
Right.